Imagine a world where you are not at the top of the food chain, but right near the bottom. Earth during the Pleistocene epoch was a terrifying theater of giant, bloodthirsty predators. Massive saber-toothed cats with 8-inch fangs roamed the misty primal forests. Giant short-faced bears, standing 11 feet tall, could outrun a modern galloping horse. Packs of cave hyenas possessing bone-crushing jaw pressure locked their eyes on human movement. Our early ancestors did not have sharp claws, thick protective fur, or lethal venomous bites. They were relatively slow, physically weak, and incredibly vulnerable in the open savanna. Yet, against all mathematical odds of evolution, these fragile primates managed to survive. They did not just survive, they eventually became the absolute rulers of the entire planet. How did our naked, defenseless ancestors defeat the most terrifying monsters in Earth's history? The secret to their survival lies in a combination of biology, psychological grit, and radical innovation. The first and most critical evolutionary superpower was the transition to walking upright on two legs. Bipedalism elevated their field of vision high above the tall, golden savanna grasses of Africa. At ancient sites like Olorgesailia in Kenya, evidence shows humans scanned horizons for miles. This high vantage point allowed early humans to spot approaching predators long before they struck. Walking on two legs also freed up their hands for an entirely new purpose in survival history. Those free hands began picking up heavy stones and sturdy fallen tree branches to use as weapons. But a simple rock is useless against a 500-pound cat unless you know how to throw it. Humans developed unique shoulder joints that allowed them to throw projectiles with deadly, high-speed accuracy. Imagine a pack of small primates launching a coordinated hail of heavy, sharp rocks at a lone predator. No animal on Earth, no matter how fierce, wants to advance into a storm of flying stones. Furthermore, standing upright made humans look strangely tall, unfamiliar, and deeply intimidating to quadrupedal beasts. Most predators prefer easy, predictable prey and avoid attacking strange creatures that stand tall. But visibility and throwing rocks were only the outer defenses of early human survival. The ultimate game changer that permanently shifted the balance of power was the mastery of fire. Archaeological discoveries at Kesem Cave in Israel prove humans controlled fire over 300,000 years ago. Fire was the first weapon that did not rely on physical human muscle mass to inflict damage. To a wild beast, fire is a supernatural, unpredictable force of pure destruction and pain. Humans learned to maintain a burning perimeter around their dark, vulnerable campsites every single night. The crackling orange flames created an invisible, impenetrable wall that predators simply refused to cross. Deep in the dark night, hungry predators could only watch from the shadows, their eyes reflecting the flames. Fire also allowed humans to venture deep inside dark caves, smoking out dangerous cave bears first. By reclaiming the caves, humans secured the safest, most easily defensible shelters available in nature. Beyond passive defense, early humans weaponized fire to actively hunt and terrify their rivals. They used burning torches to stampede giant mammoths and fierce predators off steep, rocky cliffs. But what happened when a human was caught completely alone, far from the safety of the campfire? This is where humanity's most brutal and exhausting physical adaptation came into play: persistence hunting. Humans possess an extraordinary density of sweat glands compared to any other mammal on Earth. While a furry predator traps heat and overheats rapidly, humans can cool down while running. If a saber-toothed cat chased a human, the human would immediately sprint toward thick, thorny brush. If cornered, the human would rely on incredible stamina to simply outlast the predator's explosive energy. Predators are built for short, explosive bursts of speed, not long-distance marathons. After a few minutes of intense chasing, a large cat's core temperature rises to dangerous levels. The predator becomes exhausted, panting heavily, and is forced to abandon the chase entirely. The human, sweating but still breathing steadily, could then safely walk away from the danger zone. However, individual survival was rare. The true strength of humanity lay in the pack. Humans are intensely social creatures who evolved complex, cooperative communication systems. While a lone human is a weak snack, a coordinated tribe is a lethal superorganism. They developed vocal warnings to communicate the exact type of danger approaching through the trees. A specific shout could mean leopard in the branches, while another meant hyenas on the plain. This hyper-advanced communication allowed the tribe to form instant, tactical defensive formations. They stood shoulder to shoulder, locking their wooden spears outward like a wall of sharp thorns. The famous Schöningen spears found in Germany, dating back 300,000 years, prove this tactical sophistication. These weren't crude sticks. They were perfectly balanced, aerodynamically carved javelins made of dense spruce wood. These deadly spears allowed humans to inflict deep, lethal puncture wounds from a safe distance. Predators quickly learned that attacking a group of humans resulted in severe, agonizing pain. In the harsh wild, a minor wound often becomes infected, leading to a slow and certain death. Apex predators possess an evolutionary instinct to avoid prey that fights back with lethal efficiency. Over generations, predators developed a deep instinctual fear of the bipedal spear-wielding apes. Humans also used their superior intelligence to study the daily behavioral flaws of their enemies. They learned to track predator footprints, memorizing their hunting routes and watering holes. If a pack of lions was sleeping during the hot afternoon, humans would carefully avoid that territory. Humans became masters of psychological warfare, using noise to terrify animals much larger than themselves. They banged hollow logs, screamed in high pitches, and shook large bushes to simulate giant monsters. A predator relying on stealth would find its ambush completely ruined by a chaotic wall of human noise. Furthermore, humans practiced clever kleptoparasitism, which means stealing kills from other predators. Instead of hunting a massive beast, they waited for a saber-toothed cat to finish its meal. Once the cat was full or resting, a noisy human group would throw rocks to drive it away. They would quickly use sharp flint stone tools to slice off the richest, most nutritious meat. This high-protein meat fueled rapid brain growth, making humans smarter with every passing generation. With larger brains came the invention of early armor and protective clothing. Humans began wearing the thick hides of the very animals they hunted or scavenged. Wearing tough animal skin provided a vital layer of protection against minor claw slashes and bites. They also used animal bones to construct sharp daggers and defensive traps around their base camps. Pitfall traps lined with sharp stakes were dug along common predator trails near rivers. A heavy predator falling into one of these hidden traps was instantly neutralized without human risk. As human technology advanced, the introduction of the bow and arrow changed the landscape forever. Projectile technology meant humans could kill a predator from dozens of yards away, completely unseen. The hunter became the ultimate apex predator, and the old monsters became the hunted. Domestication of wolves was the final, devastating nail in the coffin for wild predators. Early humans formed a brilliant, strategic alliance with ancestral wolves over 30,000 years ago. These wolves evolved into loyal camp guardians, using their ultra-sensitive smell to detect danger. If a predator tried to creep through the midnight darkness, the dogs would erupt in fierce barking. This early warning system eliminated the element of surprise that predators relied on for survival. Together, humans and dogs formed an unstoppable hunting duo that dominated every ecosystem they entered. The landscape shifted from humans hiding in fear to predators actively running away from human scent. Human survival was not a victory of muscle, claws, or raw physical power. It was a spectacular triumph of collective intelligence, technological innovation, and absolute adaptability. Every time a predator evolved a sharper tooth, humans invented a longer, deadlier spear. Every time the night grew darker and colder, human fire burned brighter and hotter. We are the direct descendants of those brave, highly resourceful survivors of the ancient world. The blood of master survivalists flows directly through your veins at this very moment. Next time you look at a campfire, remember it was our ancient shield against the monsters. The terrifying beasts of the Pleistocene are now nothing but silent fossils in dusty museums. Meanwhile, the fragile bipedal ape continues to look up and journey toward the distant stars. This incredible saga of human resilience reminds us that intelligence will always conquer raw brutality. Our ancestors turned the terrifying African savanna into a cradle for global human civilization. They faced the ultimate nightmares of nature and refused to be wiped off the evolutionary map. Their courage in the face of giant predators ensured that our story would never be cut short. And that is how humanity won the ultimate, thousands of years-long war for planetary survival. The dangerous wilderness taught us how to think, cooperate, and build a safer future. Every tool we use today can trace its ancestry back to a defensive stone thrown in anger. Our modern cities are just highly evolved versions of those ancient, fire-lit stone caves. We conquered the wild not by adapting our bodies, but by radically adapting our brilliant minds. The age of predators ended because humans learned to rewrite the rigid rules of nature. No other creature could manufacture fire or pass down complex tactical knowledge across generations. This cultural transmission of survival knowledge became our species' ultimate genetic shield. Children learned from elders exactly which bushes to hide in and which sounds signaled death. This continuous chain of shared knowledge created an ever-evolving manual for human survival. It allowed us to conquer freezing tundras, scorching deserts, and dense tropical jungles alike. The beasts could only rely on slow genetic mutations, while humans upgraded their technology daily. A saber-toothed cat required millions of years to evolve its massive, iconic hunting teeth. A human tribe only needed a few hours to sharpen 20 lethal flint-tipped wooden spears. This massive disparity in speed of adaptation guaranteed humanity's swift rise to absolute dominance. We outthought, outorganized, and outlasted every single terrifying nightmare nature threw at us. When resource scarcity forced predators to fight each other, humans shared food to survive. Altruism and taking care of wounded tribe members kept our numbers strong during harsh winters. An injured lion is left behind to starve, but an injured human was protected by the fire. This deep social empathy ensured that human experience was never easily lost to the wilderness. The survivors healed, passed on their dangerous stories, and invented even safer survival methods. We looked into the eyes of the apex predators and chose to become their ultimate masters. The ancient struggle against beasts forged the unbreakable core of modern human psychology. It gave us our profound curiosity, our drive to innovate, and our deep need for community. Today, we no longer fear the rustle of leaves in the dark or the shadow outside the tent. But that ancient survival instinct still wakes up whenever we face a modern, unexpected crisis. We are built to endure, designed to solve problems, and genetically programmed to conquer adversity. The monsters of the past are gone, but the brilliance of human ingenuity remains completely undiminished. Our journey from vulnerable prey to masters of the world is Earth's greatest success story. It proves that no matter how dark the night gets, human light will always find a way. The evolutionary war is over, and the defenseless ape stands victorious as the undisputed king. Every breath we take today is a direct tribute to those ancient, spear-wielding pioneers of survival. They stood their ground against the giants so that we could build kingdoms among the clouds. Their ancient campfire still burns inside our passion for discovery, science, and endless exploration. We survive the ultimate test of nature, proving that mind will always triumph over muscle. The story of human survival is a powerful reminder of what we can achieve when we unite. From the dark depths of prehistoric caves to the infinite, bright expanses of modern space, we carry the flame of those ancient survivors into every new frontier we dare to cross. The apex predators tried to break us, but they only succeeded in making us completely unstoppable. Their fierce opposition was the very anvil upon which human civilization was violently forged. We emerged from the shadows of prehistoric terror into the bright light of a new dawn. The legacy of our survival is written in every city skyline and every scientific breakthrough. We are the ultimate survivors, the creators of destiny, and the true keepers of this planet. Let the memory of the ancient struggle inspire you to face any modern challenge with courage. Because no monster today is fiercer than the obstacles our ancestors crushed thousands of years ago. They conquered the Pleistocene, and we will continue to conquer the challenges of tomorrow. The saga of humanity is an eternal testament to the limitless power of the human spirit. We looked terror in the face, raised our sharp wooden spears, and claimed our rightful future. And that beautiful, hard-won future is the incredible world we live in right now. The triumph of the ancient ape is complete, and our grand journey has only just begun. Remember your glorious roots, stand tall, and let the fire of survival burn forever bright.